I gotta sit here and be completely honest with you people. Because I would never lie to you. I would never lie to you. This pay-per-view, the horror show at Extreme Rules, this played up to the fucking marquee. This was a fucking horror show. This pay-per-view was fucking god-awful. I gotta sit here and be honest with you. This pay-per-view sucked. Sucked. Big time. Except for 2 matches. The Drew McIntyre Dolph Ziggler match. The match was okay. It wasn't that bad. It was good for what it was. And then Sasha and Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. The matchup was great. Except for the last 5 minutes of that matchup. Like, what the fuck happened? Outside of those 2 matches, what the fuck happened on this show? I was watching the Yankees and Mets game, the exhibition game that they had at Yankee Stadium, and that game gave me more entertainment than this fucking show. It's the god honest truth. Hell, I was talking to Cyrex earlier. He was telling me that Impact Slammiversary show last night was a lot better than Extreme Rules. If anything, this was nothing but a horror show. And yes, folks, you saw Seth Rollins barf, vomit. I wanted to vomit throughout this entire fucking show. That's how I truly feel right now. And the swamp match, what the fuck was that? You couldn't be more creative than that, bro. If that was the case, if this was how we was gonna get with the swamp match, with the swamp fight match, whatever the fuck they want to call it, you should have just left it off the show. Because that was fucking terrible. It was weird from the very beginning to now, to the end. The only good part about that swamp fight was how the Fiend came up from the water. That was the only cool part of the entire matchup. That was it. The water turned red for a good 5-10 seconds, and then all of a sudden the Fiend pops up. So I'm guessing Bray Wyatt beat Braun Strowman in this match. So now we all know what that means now. We're getting the Fiend versus Strowman at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. Good. Take the championship off of Strowman as soon as possible. Strowman should be counting his blessings over the simple fact that he's walking in to the second biggest pay-per-view of the year with the Universal Championship. He should count his blessings. He should count his blessings. Outside of that, this pay-per-view fucking sucked. Sucked. And at this point, if anybody justifies this, if anybody defends this fucking pay-per-view, you are a fucking blithering idiot. An idiot. A dumb fuck. A dumbass. Because this pay-per-view sucked. Yeah, sure, people have their opinions here and there and everything else. But like I said, this pay-per-view sucked. It felt like, That's what it felt like to me. This pay-per-view was fucking terrible. Terrible. Fyter Fest was even better than this shit. Fight for the Fallen this past Wednesday was better than this fucking piece of shit show. Yeah, you're gonna get the people on social media that's gonna defend this fucking show and giving this show like a 6 out of 10, a 7 out of 10, or an 8 out of 10. I guarantee you somebody on YouTube is going to call this pay-per-view a perfect 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 where? Where? Bitch, where? Listen, it's hot, it's humid here in New York City, and I don't even want to fucking sit here and give you guys this review. But I have to. I wanna build my empire. Build my empire. You guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, where do I even begin? Where in the hell do I even begin? Where? The pre-show, I didn't watch the pre-show. I know it was Kevin Owens against Buddy Murphy. Heard the match was good for what it was. I heard it was good. I heard it was quick. I heard it was good and quick. I missed the pre-show because I was at McDonald's buying my strawberry banana smoothie at McDonald's. So that's why I missed the fucking pre-show. But I got home just in time for the beginning of the show. So I saw the entire show. Plus I saw the Mets and Yankees exhibition game at Yankee Stadium. So there you go. I had Extreme Rules on my gaming monitor and I had the exhibition game on my main TV. So I got the 2 for the price of 1 tonight. I'll be good on that department. Anyways, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in the channel. We are going to review the entire show tonight. That was the horror show at Extreme Rules. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys thought that Extreme Rules was terrible, if you guys feel the same way that I'm feeling, hit that thumbs up, please. If you guys enjoyed the Sasha Banks Asuka match, hit that thumbs up also. And if you guys also enjoyed the Drew McIntyre Dolph Ziggler match, which I thought was okay for what it was. It was alright. Like, they were starting to build up Drew McIntyre because Drew had no type of advantage. So I get why they were building that match up like that. But if you guys enjoyed that match, also hit that thumbs up also. Leave a comment down below your thoughts on the pay-per-view. Please, sound off in the comment section your displeasure of the fucking pay-per-view. I can imagine SummerSlam already. Holy shit. I could imagine SummerSlam. We'll talk about everything that happened on the pay-per-view, my thoughts, my opinions, and what will happen on Raw tomorrow. I mean, obviously, you guys know why they did the Asuka Sasha Banks ending. They wanted to watch Raw tomorrow to see what happens next. Because Raw pulled in a 1.561 rating on Raw this past Monday. The lowest in the history of the show. Bruce, you get a golf clap from me on the 8th hole of the Masters. You get a one big golf clap. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to show your support. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. If you guys missed out on my reaction video that I did on, I believe, Friday. Yeah, Friday. Eric's video is still real to them. The conversation with DJ Storms, that video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right corner of your screen. Also, I did a Extreme Rules preview and predictions video. Shout out to Cyrex for these beautiful, gorgeous, just straight up amazing thumbnails, man. Link to the Extreme Rules preview and predictions video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. If you guys want to follow me on social media, my social media is right here. Right there. Instagram, at your boy Chris25_, and on Twitter, you guys can follow me on Twitter, at Chris Most Hated on Twitter. There you guys go. We're going to go with the pre-show real quick. Real quick on the pre-show real quick. Kevin Owens goes one-on-one with Buddy Murphy. Kevin Owens wins with the stunner. That's about it. The match was, I mean, I went back, watched the pre-show. It wasn't, the match was good for what it was. I just want to know why they didn't put this match on the main show. I mean, yeah, I understand they have no build, but they've had a match before. The matchup that they had last time was good, from my knowledge. Good for what it was. So Kevin Owens beats Buddy Murphy with a stunner. I'm starting to like Kevin Owens using the stunner more. I actually like it. I actually enjoy it. We go on to the main show. SmackDown Tag Team Championship match kicked off the show. We got the New Day, 8-time tag team champions, by the way, 8-time tag champs. Will go up against Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura in a tables match. The rules of the match are as follows. You put your opponent through a table, bam, the match is over. Simple as that. I predicted the New Day to retain the titles. I really did. I predicted the New Day to retain the titles. Simple. Why? Because they have no tag teams. That's not what happened here on the fucking show. That's not what happened here. I predicted the New Day to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships and be off the card at SummerSlam. Why? Because there's no other tag teams. That, folks, is not the case. Not the case here. We have new tag team champions, folks. We have new tag team champions. New Day grab another table. and set it on top of the other one. Nakamura had erected Big E, and Cesaro started brawling on the top rope, while Nakamura knocks Kofi to the floor. Cesaro shoves Big E up the top, then does the swing, and Nakamura hits a running knee. Kingston comes back and throws Nakamura over the ropes, and he lands by the table near the ramp. Kofi gets Cesaro on the top rope and tries to Hurricane Rana him through the double tables that was stacked. But Cesaro holds on. Nakamura reappears and kicks Kofi in the head, and he bangs, as he hangs upside down. Then Cesaro powerbombs Kofi through both tables. We have winners and your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, the matchup wasn't that bad. The match wasn't really that bad for what it was. I actually enjoy both teams. I love Cesaro and Nakamura, and I love the New Day from here and there. So at times they get annoying, but at the same time they're funny, which I fucking love. But boy, did SmackDown, or not SmackDown, did creative miss the fucking boat on Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Jesus fucking. We were thinking, oh, Nakamura came up from NXT. He's going to have a successful run on the main roster. No. They had him fucking lose to Jinder Mahal, not once, but twice. Holy shit. Did that fuck up Nakamura's entire momentum in 2017. Luckily, in 2018, he won the Rumble. He got to face AJ Styles at fucking WrestleMania, but you know how that went. We all know how that went. They also missed the boat on Cesaro. Listen. Cesaro has that look of a future world champion. If you guys agree with me, sound off in the comment section. Listen, Cesaro has the look and the ability to become a world champion. I just want to know, when does Cesaro's contract expire? Because I can see Cesaro as the next TNT champion. I can see Cesaro as the next AEW world champion. I could. Why not? Sure. Why not? We all know what this is going to go down. We all know what this is going to mean. We all know what this is going to mean. This is going to mean Cesaro and Nakamura is going to have a token title reign going into SummerSlam. The New Day is going to have their rematch for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And guess what's going to happen at SummerSlam? The New Day will become 9-time SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Well, Tag Team Champions in general. They'll be, I think, 6-7 times SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Holy shit. Cesaro and Nakamura's SmackDown Tag Team title reign will last about 4 weeks. Guarantee you. This will last 4 weeks. The New Day will regain back the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam. Now, do I see them feuding in the fall for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships? Maybe. It's possible. Maybe. But knowing creative and knowing this company, they're going to book them like complete fucking idiots on SmackDown. But I am surprised, though, that Cesaro and Nakamura got the win. I'm surprised. They were building up the fact that Cesaro and Nakamura had the New Day's number. Which, I don't know why. They're not a real tag team. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So we got new SmackDown Tag Team Champions in Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. We see Alexa Bliss giving Nikki Cross, Asuka, and Kairi Sane a pep talk backstage, and Cross gets riled up for her title match coming up next. So we get a SmackDown Women's Championship between Bayley and Nikki Cross. And as I predicted, Bayley was going to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship with the help of Sasha Banks, and that's exactly what happened. Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. Cross hits running forearms and a running bulldog. Nikki goes up top, but Bayley dodges a dive. Cross hits a neckbreaker for a 2 count, followed by 2 back suplexes. Bayley runs at Cross in the corner, but nobody's home, and she hits the turnbuckles. Cross drags Bayley under the bottom rope and hits a neckbreaker on the floor, which looked fucking nasty. Holy shit. I thought Bayley was going to land her neck for a good second there. Cross drags Bayley. No, actually, I was there. Okay, so Cross drags Bayley under the bottom rope, hits a neckbreaker on the floor. Banks gives Bayley her boss rings, which which Bayley uses the Punk's Cross to hit her finish for the victory as Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. I said this on Twitter. Bayley retains the championship. The question is, does Bayley help Sasha win the championship when Sasha is facing Asuka later tonight on the show for the Raw Women's Championship? We can only find out. We'll find out later on in the show. I don't really care about this match. Listen, I love Bayley, don't get me wrong. I love Bayley and Sasha. They're fucking phenomenal. They are carrying this company. They're not only carrying SmackDown, they're not only carrying Raw, but they're carrying the entire company on their fucking backs. Bayley those straps is still happening. Good. Keep it that way. Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship in a match that I didn't really care about, and I knew that Bayley was going to retain the championship anyways. So there you go. Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's title. We get a horror-themed episode of the Firefly Funhouse, in which Bray is dressed like Dracula, and everything is Spider-Tone. I said Bayley. Bray welcomes us, and says he has the most horrifying footage to show us. A clip of the karaoke from SmackDown 2 weeks ago, but then cuts off, and Bray reprimands Rambling Rabbit. Says he knows that's not the clip. I mean, that Bray, trust me, bro, that is the clip. It was fucking horrifying. It was more scarier than fucking Child's Play Part 1. That's how scary it was. Holy shit. Instead, he has a clip from the past Braun Strowman wants everyone to forget, but we don't see said clip. I mean, I love Bray. I love the Firefly Funhouse. It's fucking fantastic. I love it. Why not? Sure. Then we get the United States Championship match that won't be taking place. The announcers explained that Apollo Crews wasn't medically cleared to compete tonight. MVP and Bobby Lashley come to the ring as we see replays of how Crews suffered the injury, which was last month on Monday Night Raw, when Lashley put the that move. Can't really think from the top of my head. That's how much I really don't care about this. Put the full Nelson on Apollo Crews. MVP says that's what happens when people get in the ring with the Almighty. With the Almighty. He tells Lashley he's got to stop putting that move on with such power that he hurts people and hinders his career. They laugh. The MVP goes out and gets the new United States Championship belt and announces himself the official champion due to forfeit. If that was the case, okay. So Apollo Crews suffered this injury last month in the hands of Bobby Lashley. If he suffered the injury last month, why didn't you go about it the next week and say Apollo Crews is injured, he's not able to defend the U.S. Championship at said show? Instead, you make us wait to the pay-per-view to let us know that Apollo Crews is not medically cleared to compete tonight because of what happened last month. Is it that? Or is it the fact that, well, we don't know if this is true or not. Does Apollo Crews have COVID-19? Did he get tested for COVID-19? I saw JD tweet this early and I thought to myself, maybe there is a possibility. But then again, we don't know who got tested positive for COVID-19. We don't know. I saw JD tweet that and I told myself, wow, that could be a possibility. Shout out to JD for that piece of information. But I just found that really weird. I found that very, very weird. How Apollo is not medically cleared, but you could have announced that the next week after he suffered this injury. It would make a lot less sense than you put in another match to substitute the U.S. title match instead of just building it on the fucking show for the remaining weeks leading up to the pay-per-view. That's all I'm saying there. You gotta do a lot better on that. You gotta do a whole lot better. So is MVP the new U.S. champion? I don't know. And to be honest with you, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Don't get me wrong. I love MVP. His microphone skills is up there. But I do not want to see him in the ring. I don't. We got the eye for an eye match. The eye for an eye match. Between Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, which nobody gives a fuck about, and Rey Mysterio. This match, and I gotta sit here and be completely honest with you. This match was a waste of everybody's time. We thought coming into the show, coming into the pay-per-view, coming into the matchup, we all thought that we was gonna get something different. We all thought we was going to get something different. How are these superstars going to get each other's eyes out of their fucking eye socket? How? I thought for a second this was going to be a cinematic feature. It's not. In my honest opinion, you could have left Strowman and Wyatt out of the fucking pay-per-view. You could have just done that at this fucking after what we got on the fucking pay-per-view. You could have left that out of the fucking show and give Rollins and Mysterio the fucking cinematic feature. That's what you could have done. That's what you could have done. Cyrex told me on text message earlier, and I thought it was a fantastic idea. I thought it was a fantastic idea. Instead of, having Rey and Rollins compete in a regular one-on-one match live on a fucking show, you could have gave them the freaking cinematic feature and have somebody's eye hang out. He showed me a clip earlier of how it could have been done, except for the fact that somebody was cutting the string thing off. You could have just done that. In my opinion, Rollins and Mysterio could have got the cinematic feature. They could have gotten that. They could have used that. And leave Strowman and Wyatt off the pay-per-view. Save that for an episode of SmackDown. Because we all know we're getting the Fiend and fucking Strowman at fucking SummerSlam. We all know that for sure. We all know that for sure. This match was a complete waste of everybody's time. I did not care for this match. The second, they spent, I think, the rest of the match on the outside. And I told myself, I guarantee you, they're going to do the exact same ring step angle that fucked up Bray out to begin with. And guess what, folks? That's exactly what they did. This company is not creative. They're really not. They just, it's at that point now where they just don't care. It's at that point now where they just don't give a shit whatsoever. Oh, and by the way, I predicted Seth to win this match. And that's what happened. Rollins won this match. You thought for a second Rey was going to win this match without a contract? You do know that Rey doesn't have a contract now with the company. His contract expired. Rey wanted to raise with the company, and Vince didn't want to give it to him. Rey right now is currently working without a contract. And I said it on Twitter. Rey is on his way to AEW. No question. After tonight, Rey is on his way to AEW. This wrote Rey out of the company for good. This wrote Rey Mysterio completely out of the company. There was a report, I think last week, that when Rey, the first time that Rey's eye went to the edge of the ring step, that was supposed to write him off of the company. But they kept him for a few more weeks. They kept him in for all these weeks, leading up to the fucking pay-per-view, only to do the exact same spot again. Be creative. This is what I said. Rollins and Rey could have used the fucking cinematic feature. Give us a different way on how you're going to poke someone's eye out. Rollins brought fucking pliers to the ring. And I thought Rollins was going to use the pliers and use it on Rey's eye. No, he used the exact same spot that got Rey's eye fucked up to begin with. I'm just gonna go over the end, cause I really do not care for this match. I don't care for this match. I really don't. Rey pulls the eye patch out of his mask, then grabs Rollins and tries to push his eye into the steps. Rey gets his eye into the corner, but Seth low blows him, and this is how the entire match changed course here. Rollins super kicks Rey against the barricade and hits a stomp. Seth crawls over to Rey, telling him it's his own fault, then drags him to the steel steps and jams his eye into the steel again. Ray slumps down against the steps, holding his eye, and the referee calls for the bell. Folks, if you guys really think that Ray's eye was out, it was a ping pong. It was literally a ping pong ball colored in red. It was a ping pong ball colored in red. I seen the clip on Twitter. I seen the clip. I seen the picture on Twitter. Ray, literally, legitimately, he had a fucking ping pong ball out. It was covered in red. Attention to detail, folks. Attention to detail. Rollins wins. Rollins started to puke. Rollins literally puked all over the floor as Dominic and some doctors run out for Mysterio. They help Ray to the back and Seth looks horrified at what he did. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think we saw the eyeball or anything, so that kind of sucked. That's according to what I got on my notes here. Actually, and then, like I said, I did see the eye. It was a ping pong ball covered in red. That's exactly what it was. So Rollins wins. What does he do next? Maybe he feuds against Dominic. Who knows? Who cares at this point? Who knows? Who cares? Bayley is backstage and Kayla Braxton starts to ask her a question. Bayley says she was a huge fan of Ray growing up, so it's crazy. And she doesn't know if Ray will ever see this, but he is not seeing double. What a way to fucking humor Bayley. Nice job. She's still Bayley door straps. Bayley then introduces Sasha and says she's about to become a double champion as well. So we get the Raw Women's Championship match between Asuka and Sasha. Sasha had Bayley on the corner and Asuka had Kairi Sane on the corner. And Kairi Sane, she was looking really cute tonight. This was the match of the night. Not gonna count. This was the match of the night. To the last 5 minutes of this match. This match was really good. Sasha and Asuka was working on each other. It was hard hitting. The match was really, really good. This was no question the match of the night. Until the last 5 minutes of this match. And I'm gonna say this right now. The last 5 minutes of this match was not necessary. You could have done any other thing for an ending. You just have to choose that ending. Whoever booked this shit, whoever booked the ending to this match has to be fired immediately. ASAP. As soon as possible. The last 5 minutes of this match was not necessary whatsoever. The match was really, really good. There was at a point in this match where I thought Asuka was gonna tap out to the bank statement, and I think Sasha had it on her twice. I believe twice or 3 times during this entire show, during this entire match. I believe twice or 3 times. So we go from the Empress goes up the top for a drop kick but misses, and Sasha hits a running knee. Banks goes up top, but Asuka goes up behind her, hits a German suplex, but Banks landed on her knees and kicked Asuka. Banks goes up top, but falls up the top rope and holds her knee. I thought Sasha was legitimately hurt, or she an incredible seller. She and Asuka started yelling at each other and throwing hands. Sasha tries to get the Banks statement, but Asuka avoids it. Bayley and Kairi start brawling on the floor. Asuka and Banks trade pinfall attempts as Asuka grabs her with the Asuka lock, which I thought at that point it was going to end here. But Bayley throws one of the tag titles into the ring. The referee takes the belt away as Sasha taps, so Bayley slides in. Asuka releases Banks and kicks Bayley in the head. Sasha lifts the other tag title, but the referee pulls it away. Asuka goes for the poison mist, but Sasha ducks, and she hits the referee in the eyes. Bayley then hits Asuka with the title, takes off the referee's shirt, puts it on Bayley. Bayley drags Banks over Asuka and does the 1, 2, 3. The question is, and we're probably going to get an answer on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. I tweeted this out. This ending to the Raw Women's Championship match got us watching Raw tomorrow. They got us watching Raw tomorrow. And I said this. The Raw Women's Championship match is up next. Keep your eye out on Bayley. And look what happened. Look what happened. I said on Twitter, keep your eyes out on Bayley. Keep your eyes on Bayley, and look exactly what happened. Bayley technically helped Sasha win the Raw Women's Championship, quote unquote. Quote unquote. Is Sasha Banks the new Raw Women's Champion? We don't know. We don't know. I'm going to sit here and guess she is. I'm going to sit here and guess that she is. People say, oh, this is a controversial ending and stuff like that. It is. No question this is a controversial ending. But why is Bayley pinning the 1, 2, 3? You could have just... Why? Okay, another thing. Why was the mist being used in this matchup? That I didn't understand. Why are you using the mist in this match? If you're Asuka, why are you using the poison mist in this match? You're a babyface. You're a babyface. Why are you using the poison mist? It missed Sasha completely. It hits the freaking referee. You mean to tell me that another referee could have came down and count the 1, 2, 3 instead Bayley has to count the 1, 2, 3? Now what did this tell you? Bayley helped Sasha win the Raw Women's Championship. Now Sasha is going to sit there and think she wants to win it on her own. Sasha wants to win a big one on her own. Bayley, last time I checked, Bayley won the SmackDown Women's Championship on her own. Shouldn't Sasha win the Raw Women's Championship on her own? That's what I want to know. That's one thing I want to know here. At the end of the day, we got Sasha as the new Raw Women's Champion. This, and like I said, this ending got us watching Raw tomorrow. This ending to the Raw Women's Championship match got us watching Raw tomorrow. It really does. I'm watching the pay-per-view and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, was that really necessary? For Bayley to count Sasha the 1, 2, 3 when another referee could have just came down and count the 1, 2, 3? I don't get it. But it is what it is. Sasha is the new Raw Women's Champion. Bayley forced the timekeeper between the belt and she gave Banks the belt. The announcers say this can't possibly stand. Then I agree. Because Bayley is not an official. Why is Bayley counting the 1, 2, 3? I think we're going to keep in mind on that. Why did Bayley count the 1, 2, 3? We'll find out on Raw tomorrow. Charlie Caruso, Bay, is backstage by the doctor's office, but they've taken Ray to a local medical facility, which is a hospital. Vince hates the word hospital, so he has to use local medical facility. Doctor told her that if the optional nerve of Ray's eye hasn't been severe, then there's a good chance Ray won't lose his vision. Ray didn't lose his eye. They're playing up the fact that Ray lost his eye. He didn't lose his eye. Dolph comes out to the ring for the WWE Championship match, and he waits for Drew McIntyre to make his entrance. Ziggler takes the microphone and tells Drew he underestimated him. Stipulation for this match is Extreme Rules, but only for Dolph. McIntyre can't get counted out, disqualified, or do anything out of the ordinary. Dolph will become the new WWE Champion. So basically, Drew has no advantage in this match. Drew has no advantage in this match. That's why I put it on the ticker down here. So I put the ticker down there. Extreme Rules match for Dolph Ziggler only. If you see on the ticker down there, it's right there. This was the second best match of the show. Not gonna lie to you. This match was good for what it was. Although Drew had no advantage, they wanted to really build up McIntyre as the point that even the odds against Drew, Drew's still gonna come out on top, which they did. They did that here on this show. It wasn't that bad. The match was good for what it was. Dolph was selling almost everything on McIntyre. That's how you know people are invested in Drew. When people are selling really good for Drew, that's how you know people are really invested in Drew McIntyre. That's how you know. So, Ziggler takes Drew out and puts him on the table at ringside. Then he climbs to the top of the ring post, hits a huge elbow drop through the table. And I'm here thinking to myself, if Drew McIntyre loses the championship on a countout, I will be pissed the fuck off. McIntyre has to get back into the ring and does so at the count of 9. Ziggler screams, "No! No! No!" in frustration. I guarantee you JD will say it will go from "It should have been me" to "No! No! No!" Guarantee you he'll say that on his review, which I have to watch later on. Back inside, Dolph grabs a chair, but McIntyre hits a Glasgow kiss. Fucking devastating. Holy shit. Drew looks for the Fisher Shot DDT, but eats a second famouser and a zigzag. Drew pops right back up, so Dolph hits a rock bottom onto a chair, and Drew kicks out. I seen a tweet during the weekend that The Rock predicted The Rock predicted Dolph Ziggler to win the WWE title. Interesting. Enough said here. Dolph screams, "Why won't you die?" Ziggler tosses the chair out of the ring and gets really upset. He stomps up the band. He turns up the band, runs for a super kick, but gets hit with a Claymore. Out of nowhere. Claymore out of nowhere. Drew McIntyre pins Dolph for a 1-2-3. Drew McIntyre successfully retains the WWE Championship. This match was good for what it was. This was the second best match in the entire show. No question. Second best match in the entire show. Like I said, Drew McIntyre will go into SummerSlam as WWE Champion. But the question is, who does he face at SummerSlam? I'm going to sit here and guess he's going to face Randy Orton at SummerSlam for the WWE title. Should be great. You want to build up the biggest match in the second biggest pay-per-view of the year? You do Orton and McIntyre for the title. Should be good. I can't wait. This match was good for what it was. This built up McIntyre even more, in my opinion, somewhat. But, although McIntyre had no advantage, he still came out on top, which is what I like to see. Now, Dolph, imagine being Dolph right now. Imagine Dolph getting traded from SmackDown to Raw and gets a WWE Championship match without even earning a shot. Crazy. Oh, and by the way, I got this from Off the Script earlier today when JD did his preview and predictions. Dolph only has one singles victory in 2020, and that was over against Tucker Knight on SmackDown. I'm going to sit here and guess that happened before WrestleMania. Dolph has not been on a singles match since coming into the pay-per-view. Yeah, you heard me right. Dolph only has one singles match win in 2020. That was against Tucker. I got that from Off the Script. JD, shout out to you, big bro. I'll be watching your Extreme Rules review as soon as I'm done with this. Then we go on to the main event, and I thought to myself, why is this main event in the show? It's a non-title match. It's a non-title match. You could have put McIntyre and Ziggler to main event the fucking show. You guys do realize ever since McIntyre won the championship, he has not main evented the fucking show. Realize that. Let that sink in. Ever since Drew McIntyre won the WWE title at WrestleMania, he has not main evented a single pay-per-view since WrestleMania. That is astonishing to me. That is crazy. That is fucking crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. McIntyre went through Money in the Bank, not having the match go on last. Backlash, not the match go on last. And Extreme Rules, you go second to last. SummerSlam, no question in my mind. McIntyre has to main event SummerSlam. No question. He has to main event SummerSlam. We get the Wyatt swamp fight between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman to end the show. What the fuck was this? What was this? What was this? They had fucking They had Alexa Bliss in the fucking in the match, dressed up as Sister Abigail or something like that. Then they had Strowman sit on a rocking chair, tied up, had a snake bite him, and I'm thinking to myself, how did he get out of the fucking chair? How did he get out of it? This was terrible. This was fucking terrible. This was fucking terrible. I'm sorry. I did not enjoy this not one bit. The only part of the match that I enjoyed was the ending. When the water was starting to turn red for a good 5 to 10 seconds, and then the Fiend popped out of the water as if it was fucking Jason on Friday the fucking 13th. That's what I got. That's what I got. I'm just gonna go over the end because I don't care. I don't care about Strowman and Wyatt right now. Just take me to SummerSlam. Take me to SummerSlam where the Fiend takes the championship away from Braun Strowman, please. The boat turns on and sails out into the ether after Strowman chokeslam Wyatt into the boat. Strowman laughs and walks away, but the boat comes back and it's empty. Wyatt pops out of the water, hits Braun with a paddle. The two fight in the water, but Bray's trying to drown him. Both men go under the water, and it's a minute before Braun comes out coughing and climbs back onto the pier. Wyatt appears behind him and swings the paddle, but Braun avoids it. Braun follows Bray into the foggy gazebo, but gets beaten down with a boat paddle. Bray walks off saying, "Look what you made me do." Braun comes back and kicks him off the pier into the water. Braun watches the water and says it's over. An Extreme Rules graphic appears on the bottom right-hand corner. But Bray smashes out of the water, grabbing Braun with the mandible claw, and drags him down in. The water turns red, and the Fiend comes out. The show ends with Wyatt laughing over and over, then says, "Let me in." The winner of the match, I guess the winner of the match is Bray Wyatt. And from there, the show goes off the air. How long am I in this? 42 minutes. That's how you know I don't care about this fucking show. This is all leading to the Fiend and Strowman at SummerSlam. There you go. Strowman beat Wyatt, I believe, at Backlash. No. Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. Strowman beat Wyatt at Money in the Bank. Wyatt gets his victory back over Strowman at Extreme Rules. You had Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt at Money in the Bank, and you had the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules. What is the other face of Bray Wyatt? The Fiend. The Fiend will appear at SummerSlam. He will take the Universal Championship away from Braun Strowman. At this point, it's the only outcome. It's the only fucking outcome. You have the Fiend come into SummerSlam, and Vince, you have one job to do at SummerSlam. One fucking job. You have the Fiend go into SummerSlam. You have the Fiend come out of SummerSlam as Universal Champion. Simple. Simple. If you have the Fiend, let me say this right now. I don't care how good SummerSlam looks. Card-wise. I don't care how the SummerSlam card looks. If you have the Fiend go into SummerSlam and he loses the Braun Strowman, you will hear it from me and everybody else that's covering SummerSlam. You will hear the backlash from everybody else in the IWC and the YWC. You will hear it from everybody else. You fucked up at Hell in a Cell and you fucked up at Crown Jewel back in February. Do not fuck up at SummerSlam. And in my opinion, I don't know about everybody else, but in my opinion, you give the Fiend the Universal Championship, he comes back to the point where everybody loves him again. Because why? Because you fucked up against him and Goldberg back in February, which you fucked up. The Fiend should have never lost the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel against Goldberg. Actually, as a matter of fact, the match should have never even happened. The match should have never even happened. Vince, you have one job at SummerSlam. One job! Give the Fiend the Universal Championship, and that's it. Simple. That's it. That's it. That's it. We all know. McIntyre's gonna drop the championship to Orton at SummerSlam, and we all know, and this needs to happen. The Fiend is going to win the championship at SummerSlam against Braun Strowman. Simple as that. And in my honest opinion, the way everything else is being booked right now, SummerSlam is looking pretty decent. Pretty decent. You have McIntyre and Orton, rumored. Hopefully it's confirmed. The Fiend against Strowman is going to most likely be confirmed. Then maybe, just maybe, we get Bayley and Asuka. No, Bayley and Sasha at SummerSlam for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I would say that's a great 1, 2, 3 combo for SummerSlam. So far, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good so far. And that's it, guys. That is it. That's the end of the review. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of the pay-per-view. Best 2 matches for me was Asuka and Sasha and Drew and Ziggler for the WWE Championship. Outside of that, this show sucked. If I have to rate this show from a 1 to 10, 1 being completely terrible and 10 being a fucking 10, I'm going to give it a 2. Gonna give it a 2. One point because of Drew and Ziggler. That match was pretty good. And the other one goes to Asuka and Sasha. But the last 5 minutes fucked everything up. So it's going to go from a 2 to a 1.5. There you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw review. Sorry if you're watching. Hope you got the layout done, because I'm going to start reviewing Raw more often for you guys since I'm back on YouTube. So I'm good to go there. If you guys haven't followed me on social media, please follow me on social media. Instagram, at your boy Chris25_, and on Twitter, at ChrisMostHated. If you guys are new to the channel, show your support. Hit that subscribe button down below. And turn on those bells, guys, for notifications. We got the It's Still Real Time reaction video live on the channel right now. And as well as the Extreme Rules 2020 preview and predictions, episode 68 of the reality podcast, live on the channel right now. Both those videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw review. Listen, man, we got what? We got Orton and Big Show tomorrow on the non-sanctioned match. They only did it for the ratings because they know Raw drew a 1.561 rating last week. And I said it on Twitter. I guarantee you, the build to SummerSlam is going to be down. It's going to go down. It's going to go down. The ratings especially will go down by then. But that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Raw review. Till then, I'm Chris, guys. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video all over social media. I will see you guys tomorrow for Raw review. Till then, I'm Chris, and have a good night.